Yo, what's up, Facebook? How y'all doing tonight? I know it's late, but I wanted to come on live and talk about something that I've been um, kind of just dealing with in my own personal life. So I was recently taking inventory of the relationships that are in my life, right? Putting them in the places that they need to be, and just really trying to maintain healthy relationships, right? Cutting off the people that I need to cut off, getting closer to the people that I need to get close to, and not entertaining the people that I don't need to entertain. And something hit me, and it made me realize that how everything in life is connected, right? Everything is connected. Something that you do will impact some other aspect of your life at some point. Everything is tied in, and where that is most prevalent is with relationships. Every relationship that you have will impact every relationship that you have. So it's very vital that you have healthy relationships so that when you're interacting with other people and you're engaging in different relationships, you have a healthy standard and a healthy perspective. Because if you don't, no matter what you say, if you have any unhealthy relationships, it will impact the rest of your relationships. And where I see this the most is relationships with self, relationship with friends, relationship with family, and relationship with romantic partners, right? Those four areas are the most important areas of relationship. And if any one of those are out of whack, it will impact the other three. Those four things, if any one of them are out of whack, they will impact the other three in some way. So it's very important that you try to maintain and have healthy relationships, because you don't want to be in this cycle of chaos, because that's what it is. It's a cycle, and everything has to move harmoniously for you to have healthy relationships. So let's talk about the first one, right? Relationship with self. That's self-explanatory, but a lot of people really don't have healthy relationships with themselves, right? They don't have any standards. They don't have any boundaries. They don't love themselves. They don't have any confidence in themselves. They have low self-esteem, right? And if you have that narrative about yourself, right, you don't think that you're worthy of this, or you don't find value in yourself, or you don't like yourself, there's no way that you can present value in any other relationship area. You can't present value in a friendship if you don't value yourself. You can't present value in a romantic relationship if you don't value yourself. You can't present value to a family dynamic if you don't value yourself. So it's very important that you get yourself together. Listen, if you're no good, you can be no good for nobody, right? So that's why when it comes to self, you have to be selfish and really take the time to really learn yourself, to really love yourself, and really be okay with being alone. Be okay with not being around people, and really enjoying the company of yourself. Because when you do that, it's easier to be, in relationships with other people. When you're happy, when you're confident in yourself, and you're sure of yourself, and you have boundaries, and you have standards, you don't entertain anything that comes against those standards or boundaries. It's when we don't have those standards or those boundaries that different things infiltrate, and we let them in because we're unhealthy. So the first relationship area that you have to maintain, that you have to make sure that you're healthy, is your relationship with yourself, right? So let's move on to the next one, the relationship with your friends, okay? There's an old saying that birds of a feather flock together. And a lot of people, they like to argue, no, I just got friends that I just like, people my day ones and this and that. Yeah, that's cool, but the people you spend the most time with has the most influence on you. So it's very vital that we start being selective with our friends, right? Being intentional about who we surround ourselves with. Les Brown says it this way: only quality people, OQP. You should only have quality people in your life. And I'm talking about your inner circle, right? You can be friends and with a lot of people, but your inner circle, your core friend group needs to be quality people, right? People that add value to your life and you add value to them, all right? People that push you, people that motivate you, people that, that can check you and say, hey, man, you tripping, you slipping right now. Hey, man, you need to change this. And you can be okay with that. If you don't have any friends like that, right? If you don't have any friends that you can call on when you're in a pickle, and I ain't just talking about just, hey man, I need a little gas money. I'm talking about friends you can call. Hey man, I'm depressed right now. Hey man, I'm not myself right now. If you don't have any of those type of friends, you need to reevaluate the friendships that you do carry, because, like I said, every relationship impacts every relationship. So if you have a sucky friend group, that may interfere with your family, right? If you have a sucky friend group, that's definitely going to interfere with your romantic. And if you have a sucky friendship group, it's a sucky friend group, that's going to interfere with yourself. It's going to allow you, it's going to make you lower your standards. It's going to make you do things that you normally wouldn't do. So it's very important that you have a healthy friend group. Find you some friends of quality, friends that bring out the best in you, friends that, when you down, they know what to say to get you up in a positive way, friends that really had your best interest, friends that, are willing to sacrifice to make sure that you good, right? Those are the type of friends you want to surround yourself with. The next thing, the next relationship that you got to maintain and make sure that it's healthy is your family dynamic. Now, listen, I see it all the time, and it sucks. Yeah, some people come from dysfunctional homes. Some people grow up without a father. Some people grow up without a mom. Some people are abandoned. Some people come from abusive households. Family life sometimes sucks for people. And it's hard to really navigate that space when you've never had a point of reference of what a good family is, right? A lot of our traumas, a lot of our life paths, a lot of decisions that we make stem from what we experience as children, the family we come from, the decisions we make, right? They say that when you go to the doctor, and they ask you, is high blood pressure, this and that, all this stuff, is this in your family? Does it run in your family? Because you're likely to have those same symptoms if you come from that family, right? And so it's the same way. Like when you come from a family of dysfunction, a lot of times dysfunction follows you everywhere you go. Or maybe you came from a family that was functional, right? And maybe you were just a black sheep, or maybe there's a disagreement between you and a family member. Y'all haven't spoken in years. Listen, until you get that right, until you reconcile that relationship will impact every other relationship that you enter, right? How does your family dynamic impact self? Okay. Family is where you get your identity from. Family is normally where you're supposed to get your affirmation from. Family is where you learn about yourself. And if you have a disconnect from family, sometimes you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like you're misplaced. You're going to feel like you don't belong, right? I know for me, when I had a family disconnect, I felt alone, and it sucked to, see my siblings, to see my family out and about and doing stuff with other people. And I was nowhere in that space. So not having a family, and that family intact and not reconciling that, it impacts every other relationship. It impacts how you trust people. It impacts how you view friends, how you view romance. It impacts everything. So you have to reconcile that. And what I mean by reconcile, I say this all the time because my definition of reconciliation isn't like this coming back together, asking for an apology or apologizing. My definition of reconciliation is saying, this is the reality of my situation, and I'm okay with that. And I will move on in life without allowing this situation or this circumstance to define how I move, how I think, how I believe, how I love, and who I am. I won't be hurt by this. I won't hold any grudge. I've reconciled that this part of my life has happened, and this is the reality of it. And I move forward with it. That's what I mean by reconciliation, right? Because a lot of times, man, it impacts everything. Not a lot of times, all the time. Your family dynamic, how you interact with your family, impacts every space of relationship that you're going to enter. So you have to maintain a healthy relationship. For some of you, it may be, like I just said, to reconcile the reality of your situations. For others, it may cause for you to have to go and apologize, or it's going to have to cause for you to go and have a tough conversation to get that frustration or something off your chest. For others, you're going to have to go to therapy, right? So you're going to have to figure out how to navigate that family dynamic, because it's very important that you have healthy relationships. Remember, I said if any one of these relationship components are out of whack, every other relationship that you enter will be out of whack, right? If your family dynamic is out of whack, right? Your romantic relationship is going to be out of whack. Your self relationship is going to be out of whack. Your friend relationship is going to be out of whack. I don't care how good you may feel. There's going to be something in those relationships that triggers that emptiness or that void of family. So you got to deal with that. Last but not least is relationship with romantic partners. Now, some of you may be in a relationship. Some of you may be married, may be divorced. Some of you may be single. Some of you may say, hey, I don't want to be in a relationship anyway. I'm cool. That don't impact me. It does. It does. Let's deal with the last thing I said. Some of you who are watching this may say, I ain't trying to be in no relationship anyway. I ain't ready for no relationship. I don't want to be in no relationship. I'm good by myself. That's cool if that's coming from a healthy place. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's coming from a place of, I tried it and I got let down. I tried it. I got disappointed. I tried it and they took advantage of my trust. So I'm not going to allow myself to be in that situation anymore, right? So we have this mindset, I don't want to be in a relationship. That's cool. But if the reason for you not wanting to be in a relationship is because you fear getting hurt, you fear that they're going to use you, you fear that they're going to abuse you, you fear that you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that. Why are you insecure? Why do you have trust issues? Right? You're going to have to deal with that. And if you don't deal with that, again, this will impact every other relationship, right? Maybe you're just single because, you ain't found nobody, right? Why haven't you found anybody? Well, maybe you got this long list of things that you want in a partner, right? And you got these high expectations and they don't make sense. Okay. Mike Todd said it, you got to rip up your list. Okay. It's okay to have these like desires or want, but sometimes we be unrealistic, right? So we got to rip up that list. Maybe you're in a relationship right now and it's toxic, right? What makes you be in that toxic relationship? And it may come from an unhealthy family dynamic. It may come from an unhealthy friend group. It may come from an unhealthy relationship with yourself, right? So you have to find out, okay, what is it that is keeping me in this cycle of maybe I keep getting in bad relationships, or what is keeping me in this cycle where I push away potential partners who have shown me that, they're trustworthy, that have shown me that they love me, that have shown me that they care, but I push them away. What is it that's making me do this? Listen, you got to figure that out, right? Or maybe, like I said, you're in a relationship. Listen, the wrong partner can set you back. The wrong partner can set you back. I shared the Facebook post the other day. They said the wrong partner sets you back physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all that stuff. It sets you back. The right partner will push you forward. Okay? You have to find the right partner. What do I mean by right partner? Somebody that supports you, somebody that brings you peace, somebody that aligns with the way that you think. Okay? I'm not big on because, we got this new age, modern woman, modern man conversation is man versus woman. The guys hate the women hate the guys. Like this new era of podcasts, all these people talking crazy or whatever. I think it's silly. I think it's stupid. I think that we've overcomplicated relationships. And I just believe in my heart that if you find somebody that brings you peace and makes you happy, that's all you need. Everything else you can fill in the blanks, right? When you're confident in yourself, you don't need anybody else to come alongside you to complete you, right? Whoever you choose or whoever you choose to be with, it's somebody that you choose to be with because you love them and you're happy. Listen, I was telling somebody the other day, man, we're so caught up in this. What do they bring to the table? Yeah, you want you should have standards in that. But like, when I think about my great grandma, or I think about my grandparents, or I think about the people back in the day, our grandparents, they weren't business owners. They weren't hustlers. They weren't entrepreneurs. They were two people that loved each other. And one went to work, one stayed home, or they both worked. But they made it work, right? They loved each other. And, they weren't just these spectacular people. They were everyday, normal people who loved each other. And they came home to each other. And they were happy. That's what you should pursue. Not this, oh man, they need to be six figures. And they need to have this many degrees. And they need to, no. It's okay to marry or date a dummy. that sounds bad. It's okay to be with someone. Like I said, if they check all the boxes, cool. But if they make you happy and they ain't pulling you down, they ain't like making you make bad decisions, they pushing you, they support you, even to the capacity that they can support you. They support you, they got your back, they ride for you. You don't need nothing else. So you have to figure out how to have healthy relationships, right? So, like I said before, every relationship impacts every relationship that you're going to ever be in. So you have to make sure your relationship with self is intact. You have to make sure your relationship with your friends are intact. You have to make sure your relationship with your family is intact. You got to make sure that your romantic relationship is intact. It's all a mindset thing. You got to make sure that you're good with that. So, I just wanted to come on here and do this tonight. I know it's late. People ain't going to see this till the morning. But for those of you who are watching, those of you who are here, thank you for watching. Share this. I got some more things that's coming up that's in the pipeline right now. So stay tuned. I'll be doing more of this, just trying to figure out the right time, with my schedule and everything like that, when to get on here and talk to you guys. But for those of you who watching now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I hope it made you think. And I hope so. Good night. I'm about to go to sleep because I got to be up for work in the morning. Love you guys. Peace.